listening to Final Frontier News.
From the furthest reaches of the universe to the innermost depths of the mind, this is Final Frontier News.
Hi, everybody. This is something that we'll probably talk about when we get to a show. I missed the times on this one, but it looks like investigators or an investigator is claiming now that a UFO wreckage is what they're finding here. It says investigator claims UFO wreckage is evidence aliens visited the Earth 250,000 years ago. And they go right to that it's UFO wreckage. This is a test in a lab in Switzerland have revealed that the strange fragment of metal is made up of 90% aluminum and is 250,000 years old. Aluminum was not produced by mankind until about 200 years ago. So the discovery of a large chunk that could be up to 250,000 years old is being held up as a sensational find. Now, is there an issue with the dating, with the science of this? I don't know. Deputy director of the Romanian Ufologists Association said lab tests concluded it is an old UFO fragment, given that the substance comprises cannot be combined with technology available on Earth. So builders working in the area found this thing 33 feet under the ground. It was buried alongside two bones of an old species or animal. It doesn't exactly say what the animal is. 10,000 to 80,000 years old. 33 feet under the ground. That's not too far when you think about it. I mean, it's far, but it's very interesting stuff. What is this thing? Was it put here was it a piece of a spacecraft? You know, why would this be on a spacecraft? Was this beings that were on Earth before? Was it us on Earth before we remember of what had happened? Is it something to do with the pyramids and maybe possibly aliens or humans that left the Earth a long time ago? Something that was left behind? I mean, the fragment, I'm looking at it right now, and it's simplistic. It almost looks like a just piece of machinery that we would have around in the 1920s to 1980s or something. You know, it just looks like, or nowadays even, it just looks like a piece of a machine, sort of. But I mean, you can argue dating and dates of things and when things are made. But I mean, yeah, looking at it, it actually looks very, very old, but I don't know exactly how the tests are run and how carbon dating and how dating works and are measured. And perhaps if they could send it around and have it tested other places to see what other people conclude, that would be very interesting. But right now it's just in a museum already, having been tested, I suppose, that one time. Now in a museum being listed as unidentified, basically, unable to confirm. So that's kind of telling too, but very interesting. 250,000 years ago. But you wonder about how many times we've kind of repeated history here and what's going on the planet. So it's very interesting, but I don't know. You can find out more about what we're talking about here, about this UFO perhaps, or about this piece of alien hardware, or about perhaps a piece of our own hardware that is being miscalculated somehow, depending on what you believe. But hey, entirely possible, that far into the ground, that old looking, and the carbon dating. I mean, really, if this could end up being, if you could just try really hard to get this proven a little bit more, convince people a little bit more of this, and absolutely for sure say that this is 250,000 years old, that changes everything. It really does. It absolutely changes everything. And we're going to talk about it more on the next episode, the sit-down episode that we do at some point with Dave and Jesse. And if you guys have questions about this, I recommend you put the questions down below in the comments section of this video, because we'll be reading them and we'll be able to answer them in one of our next full programs. I also want to remind you that bonus episodes, or more episodes, we've decided to do more Final Frontier news, and more of that can be available by visiting RageInternetRadio.com. We're part of RageInternetRadio.com. And if you go over there, you'll be able to get more of the episodes. So you don't just have to listen for one or a few. You'll get every episode of Final Frontier News. Alright, again, leave the questions down below, and we will get to you. We'll get to every one of them. If there's one, if there's five, if there's... Well, maybe not if there's more than 100. But we'll try to skim through them. This is Final Frontier News. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the unbelievable, breathtaking news that constantly pops up.
From the furthest reaches of the universe to the innermost depths of the mind, this is Final Frontier News.